幸せが壊れる時にはいつも血の匂いがする。
人間に戻してやるから。
お兄ちゃん、いってらっしゃ
でもなうわ
粗奪猛進、粗奪猛進。こっちだ、かなり近づいてるぜ。
Aloha! This is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man, coming to you live once again from beautiful Hawaii here on the island of Oahu, bringing you, yes you, the best TV show reviews on the entire island of Oahu. And yes, this is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man. And I, last week, finished up a wonderful anime series on Netflix, one that has dropped the entire first season of Demon Slayer. Yes, it's called Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, which is basically translates into the Blade of Demon Destruction. So Demon Slayer, the Blade of Demon Destruction is the series. And this is a 23 episode first season, running about, a half an hour per episode. Set in the 17th century of Japan, the Taisho era, which went from between 1912 to 1930. So some remnants of modern society, of both kind of old world meeting new world of early technology, of trains and guns, etc. But still well versed in Japanese mythology, as there's a secret facet or core of individuals called demon slayers that root out demons and their magic from killing humans throughout all of Japan. Now, this is a secret organization. The Japanese government has no knowledge of their existence, possibly way up high in the furthest echelons of the government, perhaps. But normal policemen will not simply follow whatever the demon slayers say. And as swords are outlawed, they have to pretty much keep things to themselves, and certainly can't go looking for law enforcement help with these demons. Now, what can we say about this show? Well, basically it starts off in rural parts of Japan, up in the mountains, with a small family, a poor, modest, meager family of modest means, with the eldest son called Tanjiro Kamada, and his sister Nezuko Kamado, and two younger siblings, and a mother, perhaps I think that's his mother. That's their mother. And he goes off to sell charcoal, as he does every day, marching from the mountain in the snowy, snowy wilderness to town to sell charcoal to restaurants and whoever might need the additional heating elements that provides for a small amount that he can buy food for the rest of his family up in the mountains. However, due to one snowy night being a little bit more than he had estimated and leaving town after selling so much, pretty much selling out of his charcoal, he starts up the mountain late. He is stopped by someone at the foot of the mountain saying it's not safe to continue up in these conditions, that he should spend the night with him at his house. He does so only to find the next day when he returns home that his entire rest of his family had been slain horribly. Blood is all over. It looks like maybe some kind of wild animal had attacked them and eaten some of them. Not a pretty sight. And this is for mature audiences. This is a little graphic. You do see a lot of blood. Nothing too bad, but it's still, at least I'd say, mature audiences only for the anime Demon Slayer on Netflix. He finds that just barely alive is his older sister, Nezuko Kamado, and he carries her, attempting to take her back into town before she dies for medical attention. However, on the way back, she seems to, she seems to have a fit, attacks him, and she changes. She starts to grow, gets fangs, longer nails, almost claws, and we discover that she has indeed been possessed by some demon, taken over by some demon, and he has to fend her off. Fortunately for him, another demon slayer is nearby, finds her, almost slays her, but to his, Tanjiro's request, says that his sister is not a problem and that he can keep her in check, that she's never killed anybody and she never would hurt another human. And the demon slayer, he believes that, says that if there's any chance of her getting back to normal, that he should go see his master. And thus begins Tanjiro's tutelage under this demon slayer's sensei, thus becoming a demon slayer in his own right, so that he might, as he's stopping demons and preventing other people from being killed or changed into demons like his sister, he seeks out a cure and attempt to find a way to bring Nezuko back to her humanity. However, during such time of his training, he discovers also that Nezuko is able to retain her humanity, even though she is enhanced and possessed by this demon, thus able to fight along his side and rescue him at times, having increased strength, speed, agility, and that fortunately she does not need blood in order to heal herself or gain greater powers. She is able to just, do so through extended cycles of sleep. Fortunate for him and the rest of the humans that they come across. But through their travels, they meet two additional beginning demon slayers, Zenitsu Agatsuma, I'm sorry, Zenitsu Agasuma and Inosuke Hashibira. And basically, Inosuke is a wild, pretty much a wild man, who's lived up in the mountains throughout his childhood, raised by wild boars. He decides to become a demon slayer, and thus, after some conflict with Tanjiro, befriends him and allies with him and his sister. The same goes with Zenitsu. Basically, he was trained by another demon slayer master, apparently learning nothing, but we find out that when he seems to be a coward pretty much, having learned nothing of demon slaying skills, etc. However, when he is afraid, comes across, he's very cowardly, wishing to run away, steer clear of any danger. Yet if he's knocked unconscious or faints and loses consciousness, then his subconscious comes to mind, which is not a coward, but is an actual, retains all of his master's teachings, and thus is able to slay demons, very much so, just like Tanjiro and Inosuke. So with all of them teamed up, they go on various missions to find out that there's one head demon which is likely key to curing his sister's affliction. And that's pretty much what all 23 episodes goes through and talks about. Various demons are met and slain of different, each progressing in greater power, thus allowing our heroes to gain in power and skill as they come across and battle each one of them, defeating them as well. Which they will need all of that training, all of that extra experience in order to take on this head demon that seems to control all of them throughout all of Japan. So I highly recommend, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba. The whole 23 episode first season is a shaka thumbs up on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, check it out, especially if you like anime, especially like classic, almost medieval Japanese style anime, say like Samurai X, or along the lines of possibly even Inuyasha, dealing with demons and another demon and humans battling, teaming up to take on other evil demons and protect the innocents throughout the countrysides of Japan. Those are the two that I would say are most similar to this show. And again, it is more mature than I'd seen for both of these shows, with all the bloodshed, etc. Both from the demons and from the demon slayers defeating the demons. Now, I will also give a shaka thumbs up to the movie, which has dropped in Japan back in October 2020, called Demon Slayer, the Demon Slayer, the Mugen Train. Demon Slayer, the movie Mugen Train, or Infinity Train. This is about an hour and a half, almost 2 hour movie. Basically taking up directly after episode 23. Whereas all three Demon Slayers, Tanjiro, Zenitsu, Inosuke, and his sister Nezuko, all have to board this train with a master demon slayer to find out why 40 people on this train have gone missing, and whenever this train goes out, people end up missing. But there's about 40 or 50 already. And they come to discover that this is a demon that had been set up by the head demon overall in episode 23 of the television show that we had just seen. And he is sent to go capture, Tanjiro. And so is using this train as a guise and is basically able to put all of the passengers on the train to sleep, including the demon slayers themselves, often giving them happy memories, happy dreams of times in their past. And for Tanjiro, that is being with his family up in the mountains before he became a demon slayer, before his sister Nezuko had become a demon. And it is only due to Nezuko's efforts to wake Tanjiro that he is able to resist this sleep spell and thus on the train defeat the demon with the help of Inosuke and Zenitsu, and additionally at the great cost of the master demon slayer, who sacrifices himself to help stop this demon on the train. So again, a Shaka thumbs up for that. Unfortunately, it's been delayed release here in the United States. There are some spotty copies of it floating around on the internet for Demon Slayer, the Mugen, the movie Mugen Train. But it should be released in the United States sometime this summer of 2021. As soon as more movie theaters open, I'm sure it will hit here. And it looks magnificent from what I have been able to see of it. And the story, it's somewhat rare to have an anime so effortlessly and seamlessly flow directly into a movie as a continuation. Often in anime movies based on former TV shows or even current TV shows as they continue, it's something totally non sequitur that is only very loosely adapted to the plot. My Hero Academia, the movie that I saw, was very much like this. It was another, villain that they had to defeat that was working for the head villain. Very similar to this, but it was not so directly set up in the series itself on the final episode. So I found that very refreshing and very interesting. And going into this movie, there's no way that you could have understood who Tanjiro and Inosuke, Zenitsu, or even who his sister was, without having watched all 23 episodes on Netflix first before going to see this movie. And know that they're all their backstories. I mean, you might have gotten that it's like, oh, he's happy to see his family, but you wouldn't have known it's such a tragedy that his whole family was killed, and thus why he's so ready and willing to fall guile to this sleep spell, so that he may be with them once again in his happy dreams, despite the dangers that he and his friends are, and even his sister is on this train, under this demon spell. So definitely, if you're interested in the movie when it comes out this summer, you've got time to catch up on all 23 episodes of Demon Slayer on Netflix, and I highly recommend it. Later in 2021, Season 2 should be out, and that should also play directly from the movie as well. And I find it fascinating that they went ahead and they did the season 1, the movie, and then now Season 2, which will flow directly into this, and I definitely want to see more of Demon Slayer. A strong Shaka thumbs up. Movie, more series, and I hope Netflix brings up season 2 as quickly as possible. All right, thank you so much. This is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man, giving Demon Slayer, both the series on Netflix and the movie, a Shaka thumbs up all the way, and I am looking forward to season 2. All right, thank you so much, and aloha.